So that was my third book, Firehouse. And then, like an old fire horse, I started missing the action. And I realized with me, it's action that I love and capturing it. My whole thing, anyway, is like, I want to tell a whole story in one picture. That doesn't need words, but if you give it words, it makes it even rounder and fuller and better. You know, some you don't need any. I was trying to quit smoking for like 30 years. And one of the times I quit was hypnosis. So I'm lying on a couch on Central Park West, and I cannot be hypnotized because every time I heard a siren, I thought, what am I missing? What am I missing? And I realized I really missed the action. Now, when I was doing Firehouse, people would say, what are you doing next, cops? And I'd say, get out of here. I hate cops. Because during the Vietnam peace rallies and that, they were beating the hell out of people. And I didn't admire them. And I thought to myself, what are you talking about? You hate cops. You don't know a cop. You don't know a single cop. This is therefore unintelligent. Stupid statement. If you know a cop and you hate them, fair enough. And I thought, And I have never seen a book about good cops. They make them about the bums, the crooks, the rats. Serpico, Prince of the City, all these slime balls that steal dope from the dope dealers and sell it. All these. I never saw a book about a good cop. What is the job? Furthermore, if I could do it right, I could show modern urban society and how it does not work for most people. And lastly, I thought, wow, what a good story. And whatever is real in real life, close to the firemen, and I'd be right there, wouldn't I? I thought, that's it. And that was my fourth book, Street Cops. I was able to get permission to go to my first precinct, the 9th precinct, because of the Commissioner of Public Relations of the police department was Ellen Fleischer, who was a well-known newscaster on CBS television news. And she had my second book, Circus Days, and loved it, and gave me permission. And while a million people have done, get assigned the beat, police, blah, blah, nobody's willing to, I realized this was my life. I gave it all up, to do this. And sometimes you think, how dumb were you, And on the other hand, say, no, I follow my passion, and this is my love. And so Street Cops, and what I did, I had 3 precincts. I started in 9th precinct, which was Alphabet City. Really the worst precincts. I looked for the real shit houses, as they were called. So Alphabet City, very big for drugs and all that fun stuff. And then Midtown South, which covered Times Square, 42nd Street, pre-Disneyland. And I would start around 6 o'clock on the 4 to 12 tour. And then I'd go into the midnight tour, and I worked till about 4 or 5. And I did that for a long time. I put years into Street Cops, and then the writing, too, which is the most I ever did. And boy, that was hard, but worked out well. And I truly love that book. I love all my books. So that was my 4th book, Street Cops. And I chose to work with the guys I liked, the teams of partners that I liked. And they had to be like real New York cops. They had to be street smart. This was not long after the Knapp Commission on corruption. So we had the cleanest department, I'm sure, in the country, and the most professional. And it was not militarized the way it is now. It's frightening the way it is now. But then I worked with like New York guys. They were street smart. They were funny. They had a great sense of humor. They knew what was going on. They wouldn't bust you for one joint. I liked the ones that were smart, with a heart and showed compassion. That to me was a good cop, all those things. And there were some others that were real jerks. I worked with them once, that was it. And then said, all right, you're going to be a prick, you'll be sorry, you're not going to be in the book. And then later, when there's a big party for the cops, they all came over, and everybody came. Oh, my girlfriend was fabulous. And a couple would say, how come we're not in the book, my partner and me? You wrote, I said, because you're an asshole. And the cops, the other guy, they loved it, laughed. Anyway, so, us types were adrenaline junkies. And it was a great story, and I believe that book really worked. And I don't believe there'll be another book like that on the cops. And it's called Street Cops, published the end of '81, just in time to miss Christmas. Harper and May. So, they always miss the Christmas market. It's inevitable. So that was book number 4. And then, I'd been going to Ireland. When I had the money, I would go and I would shoot until I ran out of money, and then I'd come back. First trip in '73. And I love the Irish music, and when I lived in London, I went over for a Fleadh Cheoil, which is an Irish traditional music festival, and fell in love with that music. So I would go over, and then the people were charming too. The Irish people in Ireland are different than anywhere else. They're not exportable the way they are there. And I wanted to catch the last of the old ways, because I know, with the modern world sticking its foot in things, it would be soon gone. And that's what I did. So I'd be over about a month at a time. I'd 73, and like I said, when I ran out of money, I came back. 73, 74, 81, 4, and 5. And that became my 5th book, A Time That Was, Irish Moments, with the great fiddler Johnny Doherty of Donegal on the cover. What a picture, one of my 10 greatest. Maybe one of my, yeah, definitely. So that was 5. And then I went to move to Florida when they tripled my rent here in the village. And I did my 6th book, Jill's Dogs, in 2003. And it's dogs and their people, and I'm crazy about dogs. I like them better than people or anything else. They're much more civilized than we were. If human beings were like dogs, we wouldn't have any problems. And people wouldn't talk so much. They just bark a little and eat. So that became my 5th book. And then my 6th book, which was published, in the 2000 something, is Ireland Ever. And I was able to get in the 35 pictures of the first book the editors left out, which they should never have done. And so those are my 7 books. And I love them. All out of print. But boy, are they something. That's what I have to say about my books. And now I'm working on, I'm going to put together Mad Hatton, Only Human, People and Other Animals, The Boys Club, which is all the different sides of men through a woman's eye, and Missing Generations, the Holocaust. And the missing generations being all the people that were not here and that were never born. 1.5 million Jewish children were murdered. And so that's the title, Missing Generations, the Holocaust 50 years later, which I shot them in 93 and 4. But I had to keep putting it aside because being alone with the Holocaust, a bit much. Every 20 years, but I realize I don't have 20 years now, so. So how many is that? 5 books, plus the Book of Classics. So I got work to do. The thing with me is being a photographer. And I was stupid. I didn't use my charms like I should have. I like to work baggy, like baggy clothes. The fireman, when I went to Medal Day, could not believe that I had legs. I wore a dress. He kept saying, oh my God, she's got legs. Quite nice ones, as if you must know. But when I work, I like to be baggy because I like to be invisible as much as possible. So being a woman, you can definitely get a lot done, get by. Men are easy. You can, they're easy. And other times it's really a pain, and people don't like women. Most people don't like women or kids, really. They can talk a good game, but they don't. Or there wouldn't be all the crap going on with women and with kids with them. So, it's like, who was it that said, if people love their kids the way they say they do, why is there war? Isn't that beautiful? Who said it? I've been keeping quotes for years and years and years. Are they good? Then how to use them with which picture, you see? Unless your partner has an obsession and a passion, of his own, it doesn't work because they end up being jealous of the work. And I have a little quote from Hemingway that he wrote to Lillian Ross. It said, people don't understand that your work means more to you than any woman, than anything. And when you get going good, nothing stands between you. And that's how it worked with me. I found that men generally turn into my mother. Why didn't you call? Will you be home for dinner? Well, I'll let you know if there's going to be a fire. And so I don't know. Other people could manage all those things. It would have been nice to have a cuddler, But, well, it isn't over till it's over. So you want to know if I have any advice for people starting out in photography? All I can say is, care more about the pictures than your own dumb ego. If they're not good enough, don't show them. If they're not good enough, no matter how much you crop it or print it, they're still not good enough. Go take one that is good enough. Don't bore people. That's the number one crime in anything. And read up and learn how to shoot it. Read instructions. Learn your, if you want to do it as a craft, learn the bloody craft. Don't ask stupid questions and go out and shoot all the time. And go and look at collections of pictures, museums and that. See what a good print is. See what it's all about. It's not just garbage in, garbage out. It's important if you're going to take, to make a statement, to do some beautiful work and to respect your photographs, respect photography, and respect the people who are looking at it. And if the people who are looking at it are too dumb to appreciate it, fuck them, they can't take a joke, is my philosophy. If you want to go to school and spend your, knock yourself out. But basically you don't need it. You just need to go out in the streets, shut up, and take good pictures. That is what I have to say.